Dan's probably not going to want to go outside and do any chipping, is he? Getting a bit soaked here. I do have, however, the perfect thing to ask him for indoors. So you probably guessed it from the title. If you haven't, then let's go and find out what's going on. Game's looking good. Just quick catch up. Game's looking good. Lessons coming along really well. This is the first lesson I've done with Dan in a few weeks now. There's loads of stuff to come with Dan. We've got a few things planned, which is quite exciting. But today I'm getting absolutely soaked here. But today we're going to try something completely different. Fingers crossed he's up for the idea. Right, so we're inside the studio now with Mr. Whittaker.
Hey guys.
He's kindly been a understanding teacher and it's going to allow me to do filming again. So today's video is going to be on shot shaping. So I'm hitting standard shots pretty well now. I'm playing the course pretty well. Now I want to start looking at draws and fades. Am I doing the things that I should be doing in order to get the draws and fades? So I'll hand it over to Dan. He's going to fire some questions at me. Let's find out if I'm right or wrong.
Okay, so first off,
yes.
If you hit a draw,
yes,
predominantly, where would you miss it? Right or left?
What do you mean? As in?
Would you overdraw it or underdraw it?
Underdraw it.
Okay.
So I would tend to either go bullet straight or slightly push it.
Okay. And to hit the fade, what would you tend to do? Miss wise?
I would miss it almost a slice, like a big fade.
Okay, so draw wise, what would you be aiming to try and do when you're hitting your draw?
So the thought process I would have when trying to hit a draw would be kind of trying to get my hand as much as I can on top. My standard or like kind of stock shot.
Show us that then.
A stock shot is kind of a little bit of a draw, so my feeling would be as I'm coming down is to try and get that right hand on top.
Yeah.
And then obviously come through as normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything different in setup?
If I really wanted to try and swing one, then I'd probably change my stance to kind of, point right and shoulders at target still, your kind of traditional stuff for drawing. But generally now, if I just want a nice steady draw, then no, I wouldn't.
Okay, and what about hitting the fade?
So fade, I don't really know what I'm doing in terms of hitting the ball, but it's the feeling afterwards. So I'm kind of feeling like I'm holding the club up. If that makes sense.
Show me that again in the finish.
So as I'm coming through, I'm kind of almost trying to hold the face open, but I don't really know what's happening down at the ball.
Okay.
I'm not really thinking about anything.
Right, well, best solve
it's all perfect, isn't it?
Ideal, mate. Right, so let's solve this.
Right, teach me senpai, which is Japanese for master.
Okay, so first off, when you hit the fade, if it does go, does it struck well? Does it go a lot shorter?
Yes.
Okay, so right, let's kind of have a look at that one first. So when you're hitting the big fade, the problem you've got is, because you're kind of coming through in that club face, when I was looking at it from over there, is almost, the leading edge is kind of, almost parallel to the floor, if you like.
Yeah.
And the grooves are almost looking back at me, so it's very, very open there.
Okay.
So if you think if I trace that back, so that's so far open, the ball's starting right, it's also going to be really, really weak because it's quite a glancing blow.
Okay.
Now, ideally, what you want to do is you draw your fade, you want to go the same distance.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're both at same club head speed, and if anything, actually, fade might be with a bit more club head speed.
Okay.
So, your big problem is that you hold that face open to hit the fade, but actually in the draw, you're not flipping the face over. I actually don't think that you've got the geometry set up at the start.
Okay.
So, what you're doing is you're pretty square here when you're hitting your draw, but because you're trying to just hold that hand down, the face is open, which it should be to hit the draw. All you've not done is align your body angles in the right position. So therefore the ball's probably starting in the right way for the draw, in my opinion. Just you're not aligning the path far enough right of it because you're not setting up in the right direction.
Right.
So let's set up a few sticks. Let's have a little look at it. The old magic stick. Okay. So let's use that one just inside the ball there for ball target line.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is where we'd be going for a dead straight shot. So if we're wanting to hit a fade, path is going to be that way, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Obviously not as severe as that. Okay. So if if we've got that path going this way, we need the club face in between those two.
Right. Is that so? That's to hit the fade.
That's to hit the fade. So
Okay.
if I get this one out, because this is really easy for you to see. If I get that now,
Come down the line.
can you see how that's now in between the two sticks?
Yes.
So, provided my path's going along the one that's cutting across here,
Yeah.
that's providing the curvature, and this is controlling the start line.
Right.
So the club face actually has to come through a little bit closed.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, relatively to the ball's target.
Which is
So-
kind of goes against everything you think, isn't it?
exactly. But it's going to be closed relative to the ball's target line, open to the path.
Okay.
But to hit a true fade, we should be able to release it as hard as we want as the draw.
Yeah.
It never goes left.
Okay.
So what we need to do is change all of that from the geometry of the setup. So what we do is open the stance up a little bit, okay, to hit the fade.
Open, you mean left foot back?
Left foot back a
Yeah.
little bit, okay. And the big one for me is going to be opening the shoulders,
Okay.
because the shoulders dictates the path,
Okay.
okay, of where the club's going to be moving, particularly for you, okay. And then from here, obviously, going to start that club face to the left of the target line, and then from there, really commit to rotating through. Let the club face do what it needs to do in terms of rotation, because you haven't got a very handsy, flippy release.
No.
You've got a very stable club face, and the club face will start to come through on the arc, okay?
Okay.
Because you're a bit more open and you're rotating faster, the toe of the club will be slightly more delayed coming through anyway. Okay, so then the next one would be hitting the draw, so kind of right through there. So obviously path, club face. So the club face needs to be slightly to right target.
Yeah.
Ball, tiny little bit back in the stance. You hit it earlier in the circle then.
Okay.
Okay, so if you hit it earlier in the circle, you're able to hit the draw.
Which we noticed that when I did a punch lesson with you a few weeks ago, the draw was the tendency then, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Which kind of plays into what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously you won't have it quite as far back as the punch,
No.
because obviously that's going to mean that the flight gets a bit too low.
Yeah.
So what you do is, okay, back in the stance will allow you to hit the ball earlier, okay?
Yeah.
It'll also mean that you can hit it with the face a little bit more open.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's coming in a bit more in the circle. So go in there, close the shoulders a little bit, okay? Get the club face aligned in between the path and where the ball target line is. So basically, you align that to the right, because that's where you want the ball to start. And as long as you're coming into out, that's where that right palm pressure that you've got will be perfect.
Okay.
So using that as a feel
Yeah.
will be perfect for you. The other thing that you could do on the fade is get the ball a bit further forwards in the stance. Because if you get the ball further forwards in the stance,
You're
you're
hitting
hitting
it
it very
later.
slightly later in the circles, it's going to be slightly more closed. Particularly for you, as your tendency on that fade is to miss it right.
Yes.
Yeah. If you were hitting a fade and you always pulled it, then that probably wouldn't be the right solution.
Yeah.
But for now, I think that's going to be a really good fit, because once that club starts to come through a little bit more that way, ball will start left, provided we've opened you up enough, you should be seeing it cut back.
Okay. Fine. Should we give it a go?
Yeah.
So you're going to hit me a shot?
Do my best. Let's draw. So close shoulders down a little bit. Okay, just kind of align the club face just right. Let's give this a go. Okay, so there's a little draw.
Very
So,
nice.
Path 2 degrees into out. Club face almost half of that. So not too bad. So that's like a tight little draw. Obviously I want it to be bigger. Kind of just exaggerate everything a little bit more.
Okay.
A little bit more open. Ball position just a touch further forwards. Try and make sure I align that path to the left now. And there's a little fade. So we can see now that's like 1.9 out to in. Club face is almost half a path, so a little fade there. But you can see distance isn't far away, so that's like 158 carry on the cut. Now if I just spin that round, you'll see that the draw was 159. But you can see there, spin rate's just a tiny bit higher.
Which could be, with that little bit of amount, it could be just straight really, couldn't it? Ever so
Could be,
slightly
yeah.
different.
You know, but the interesting one is look at this, look at the club head speed.
Yeah. which is down here in the bottom left.
Yeah. Was higher on the fade.
Yeah, which you did say was going to be quicker.
Because I can open my body faster when I'm hitting the fade.
Yeah.
So provided I'm letting the club face release, I should hit it at the same distance.
Okay.
Okay, so I often find that when I really want to hit it very, very hard, I can actually hit that little fade and get a little bit more out of it.
Okay.
It's still going to come out with such a similar spin rate as the other. It should react the same when it hits the floor. It's not going to be held off one that loses distance. So you can see there, those numbers are pretty decent.
Yeah, which goes against everything that everyone thinks. Draw always goes further.
Yeah.
Which,
the only difference there is maybe this was contact point.
Yeah.
Know, just very slight difference in dynamic loft, like just.
But I mean, do you call a yard and a half more? I mean,
it's not really that different.
No.
So probably both totaled out close to like 163, 164. Yeah. So kind of that's what I'd expect to hit 7-9.
Yeah.
165 is like my sort of number.
Yeah.
So you can see the draw and fade control like that. All I did was change the geometry. So where I was pointing, club face and path, and I just hit it. It wasn't like there was a noticeable, well, he slowed up to it, control the fade, do this for the draw. Hitting both relatively quite hard, and the result's been pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see what you can do now.
Test.
No pressure. Okay, so we've hit a couple of shots already live in the draw. Okay, so what we're tending to find is that Brett was really struggling to get closed enough to start with because he was so good. He likes hitting little cuts, that's his easy shot. Pull that right foot back a bit more, mate. Now I can see right here, that club face is quite open, yeah? Have a look at the stance, that club face, and needs to shut down just a touch more at address, perfect. So that's actually still right at the target, it's just closed compared to you, yeah?
Yep.
So now, hit that one. So there we go, 2.8 into out. You can see that at 1.1 close. So the face is just a little bit closed relative to the path there. Okay. So let's see what we get again. Let's have another one. Once again, same again, mate. But you can see, closing off made that path shift right, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Right, okay, set with the body. So just feel the fit. There you go, that's pretty good there. Let's try that. We got there 1.9, but that just looked like you actually turned it down a little bit with your right hand on the way through there.
Okay.
So that's obviously a big left. We don't want that.
No.
Okay. So you don't need to do anything with your hands. Okay. So you don't need to change the club face direction in the swing. All you're doing is changing that geometry at the start. So that's just being changed. Now just make the swing, mate. Okay, so this is going to be a lot easier for you. So keep your club face where you had it. So you see now that club face is open and right at target. So feel like that's pointing now in between the two screens. That's good. Okay, so obviously we can see their feet are open, shoulders are open. So that should just be dictated by the geometry. So now make the swing, mate. So see the ball started to the left. Because its path was even further left, that's produced a little cut. So we can see that there's the cut. So now it's not starting to the right, it's starting left and moving back to the target. So I would say, I don't know what you think on this, mate, that the biggest thing for you is where the club face points at the start.
Yeah, definitely.
And having a look at it for both the draw and the fade, you have the tendency to start with the club face pointing too far right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which then, in the transition, I've got to do something to get it where it should have been at the start, basically, haven't I?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is show you a little drill that will help you fix that. The drill's going to be having a stick down the ball to target line right here. Now, set up for the fade. So where does that club face need to point relative to there?
Slightly like left of that.
Okay. And then the body will be more open, and then you'll obviously just make that swing from there.
A little low, but I think it's still in the fade. Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't your greatest to strike, but you'll take it. Okay, so now what you're going to do is to hit that draw.
So same again, but so obviously changes in the setup to get the draw.
Okay, so club face for you will feel like it's more closely aligned to that stick, so almost square to it.
Yeah.
Body will be a lot more right of it because it looks square to it there. To my feet look quite square. Pull that right foot back just a little bit. Right shoulder back a bit more. Okay. Make sure club face is still square to the stick. Now go from there and make the swing.
Starting right.
So we can see from there that you don't have the confidence with the draw yet. We saw we could shift the path before. Let's try one more, see what we get. The big bit's making sure you're staying behind it, not going at it too hard, as we were talking about the other week. Okay, so right shoulder will be back just a little bit. So pull that right shoulder back, fold that right elbow in. Good. Square that club face off. Feel like it's closed. Right, make that swing from there, see what we get.
That's a draw.
There we go. So that all of that stuff must have felt exaggerated.
Yeah.
There we go. Tight little draw. I mean, it started just left, but it's only finished 11 feet left in total.
Yeah.
But what did they feel like at the end in that draw in terms of setup, etc.?
Horrible. But you're getting that impression then that everything is set up ready for the draw, as opposed to trying to make a draw happen, if that makes sense.
So I've just built into your pre-shot routine to make it easy. So we can see there that's going to be massive for you.
Yeah, definitely. Right, so that's the end of the lesson. Thank you, Mr. Whittaker.
My pleasure, mate.
Once again, absolute pleasure. So the fade was a lot easier for me. It felt so much more natural. The draw feels a little bit more hard work.
It's going to need a little bit of kind of getting used to.
But what I like is the swing itself is no different. All it is just the setup.
Yeah.
Set up differently and then play the shot the same.
One swing.
Yeah, exactly. Which is a very big thing that you promote, which is one swing for everything, just change the way that you set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the way we're going to go forward. Thank you very much for watching. If you don't know this guy, I don't know how, but if you don't, go over and check his channel out and subscribe. If you're not subscribed to this channel, it's completely free to do so. Subscribe down below. Give it a like if you like this video, and like I say, check out Dan Whittaker's videos for so much more in-detail content. This is something specific to my swing and may not necessarily apply to everyone, but if you do want more details, go and check out Dan's channel. So you're going to hit me a shot?
Do my best. Let's roll. So close shoulders down a little bit. Okay, just kind of align the club face just right.